So one of the things we can do with Onshape is we can edit a part once we have created it. If you have a look at the assembly video, you'll see that the neck doesn't quite line up with both the shoulders and the bosses on the head. And you'll also notice that on the upper torso part, we're missing a couple of holes to bolt through to the neck. So we are going to edit this part so that it will fit the assembly properly. So the first thing we're going to do is identify the area that we need to change. And it's actually extrude 5. So if I right click on extrude 5, I can edit sketch 5, right click to normal to the sketch work plane, and just scroll with the mouse to take us in so that we can edit the sketch. Now we want to keep this height of 5mm, but this line needs to be longer, which is going to mess around with our angles. So the first thing we're going to do is delete two 45-degree angles by selecting them and pressing the delete key. Now I'm going to use the dimension tool, and you should see that this is 52mm long and it wants to be 55mm long. I'm going to change that to 55, and you can see now that it's changed the length of the line and that angle. We want this to still be symmetrical. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the equal constraint and apply that to this line and this line. So they are now both the same length. We've centered up the line and we are happy. So click on tick and it will update. And because of the way we drew the other parts, based around sort of centers and work planes, it's not affected anything else on there. It's just made this top part a little bit wider. So the final thing we need to do is to insert these holes. So let's right click and select new sketch, right click, view normal to the sketch plane, use the circle tool, and we actually want to line it up with the center of this radius. It might let us do it, it might not, sometimes it will. There we go, because we've hovered over those two. So we're going to draw out our circle and we are going to dimension that to 6mm. And if we could have just drawn the circle there and dimensioned it 15 in and 15 down. And then the feature that we want is going to be a remove, and we want to go through all. Click the tick, spin it around as well. We can see it goes all the way through. We can spin it around to look at our hole. And so that's our part updated. Now what we might want to do is just look in the manage the version. Okay, and we can see that version 1 we're still in. We could change the version, we could go to a different version, but we're going to keep it at that, and then if we've already put it in the assembly,